I am your host, Jose Luis Jimenez.
I'm Ben Mendez.
And Greg Compian.
Today we're going to talk about something that's really special here in Houston. We're going to talk about the music scene here in town, especially the Tejano music scene. But before we get into that, and before we get into our guests, we're going to get into the hot topics of the day. So Ben, what's going on out there?
I came across this article in the Houston Chronicle today, and it says that Mitt Romney, along with the Republican committee, has raised $106 million in June, and Obama only raised $71 million with the Democratic Party. So I just wanted your thoughts on that.
Well, before we get into the thoughts over here, I want to welcome Orlando Sanchez to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Good to be here.
And Orlando, please feel free to share any comments you have and help us learn a little bit more about the Republican Party and what's really going on out there in the political scene in Houston. So based on that, what's going on?
Well, I mean, it's an election year, so there's a lot of activity, and among the activity for the national campaign, there's a lot of state activity. There was a lot of state issues with respect to immigration, and of course the Supreme Court has dealt with a couple of those. Then there's the whole voter ID issues that are going up through different states. Those are being discussed and argued in the courts. And then you've got the multiplicity of candidates out there raising money. Mm-hmm. So that's lots going on.
So what's the a lot of the rhetoric out there is a lot of antagonism on both sides of the party, and what we really like to cover is to find out what's really the truth behind it all. Is it really that much of a difference between both parties?
Yeah, well, there are some fundamental differences, so I think the basic issue facing most Americans, not just Latinos but all Americans, is the economy and jobs. Everybody gets off of work every day and they go sit around the kitchen table, and you have your dinner and you try to figure out how you're going to pay your bills, how are you going to keep the lights on, how are you going to put clothes on the kids' backs, how are you going to pay their medical bills, how are you going to find, the books and the school supplies come August when they start school, and how are you going to get Christmas presents on and keep food on the table. That's the number one issue facing Americans. Mm-hmm. And as you know, the statistics came out today, and unemployment is hitting minority communities in the double-digit ranges. We know that unemployment is about 8.2% nationwide, but when you break that down, among African Americans and among Latinos, it's double digits. We haven't had those numbers since the 1980s. So that's the issue facing the country. And that's how the Latino community is going to vote.
There's an article in the Chronicle also about the Texas new voter ID law on trial in Washington, D.C. As you know, there was a big push just recently here in the Texas House and the Senate to change the voter ID law. What are your thoughts on that? Inform our viewers about the law, and what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not troubled by voter ID. In other words, we have, if I get a cold and I have to go get a pseudoephedrine at CVS, I have to show an ID. If I want to buy beer, I have to show ID. If I want to get on an airplane, I have to show ID. So ID is not uncommon in our society. Most people have either a driver's license or a state-issued ID card. I mean, you can't write a check, you can't do a commercial transaction without a valid ID. So I don't think it's that big a deal. States have already instituted voter ID. The Supreme Court has said it's legal, so I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue.
Greg, what's your opinion on that?
Well, I think that it's another step to kind of depress people getting out there voting. And instead of inviting and making it more open, I think it's another barrier.
Well, I can understand your point of view too, but the truth is we do need IDs just to do about everything. So I'm really trying to understand what the big deal is. I've been listening to both sides.
Well, let's look at the early voting. Those that vote from home, especially the senior citizens, they do not have to show an ID.
No.
They get their mail ballot at home a couple weeks prior to the election. They fill it out and they mail it back in. So what are we going to do about them? Are we going to have them make a copy of their ID and send it in?
No, I don't think it's required. A voter, when you request a ballot by mail, you don't show ID. It's all done by the U.S. Postal Service, and so they mail them their ballots, so they don't have to show ID. I think we're talking about Election Day. When you go vote, you bring a voter an identification card.
Right, I understand that, but I mean, what's the difference? I mean, if you vote the day of election or you vote 2 or 3 weeks prior to the election, what's the difference?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not that involved in the legislation, but I think, they just had elections in Mexico. And one of the local stations sent a reporter out there, and they were marveling at the lack of voter fraud and the different types of layers that they have for identification in those elections. And I think it's pretty standard around the world that to preserve the integrity of an election, that the person that says they're voting is who they say they are. It's not a big task to show an identification to vote.
You bring up Mexico. There's an article also today that there was some border agents that shot someone on the Mexican border. Actually, the person died in Matamoros, if I'm not mistaken. They said that they were throwing rocks at the agents, and the agents were protecting themselves. So the question is that a valid reason to shoot somebody?
I don't think it is.
Well, I think the law states that if a person feels that their life is threatened, that they have, under the law, they have the right to use the necessary force to abate that threat. So that's a question for the trier of fact. In other words, the district attorney will be presented with the case. They either will file charges against the agents or not. And if they do, then that goes to, a jury of 12.
Well, there's an FBI probe right now, so we'll see what happens.
Orlando, if you look at the election in Mexico that you're talking about, and you look at all the protests that's happening today, this weekend in Mexico, because they said that the election was rigged. So it kind of contradicts what you just said, or what the reporter was reporting on, because I mean they're protesting in the streets and Mexico City and Monterrey and New York and everything, because they under the impression that the candidate from the PRI actually there was boxes that were not turned in and what have you. So
there's a difference between the person that voting is the person that votes and voter fraud run by parties in Mexico. So there could be allegations of voter fraud and ballot box stuffing. I don't know what those allegations are, but I just pointed out that every country, Venezuela, Mexico, I don't care if it's the former Eastern Bloc countries, most of them pretty much require voter identification now.
We'll see what comes out at the election day.
In China, they're only allowed to have one child, supposedly. Well, they're considering changing that policy. They're considering 2 children maximum per family.
Wow.
Yeah, as you all know, China's population is infinite. So what's going to happen if they're allowed 2 children?
Guess their population could literally double.
So that wraps up the news for today.
That's it for today?
That's it.
You got anything important coming out? You got to have something better than this. I mean, come on. What's going on with the party? What can we educate our viewers about, to see what they should be really paying attention to? Because, the normal mainstream media pigeonholes a couple of things that they want to hear over and over again. So what should we focus on?
Well, most people that have followed me over the years know that I'm a Republican, and as an immigrant, some people find it kind of interesting. But I've always found that both parties, I'm going to say, have problems. Under the Republican leadership, we ran deficits, and that's part of the reason you see the rise of the Tea Party. They're trying to get these people to understand that our money, your money, my money, Ben's money, everybody's money is not unlimited. I mean, we all have to pay taxes to fund the government. So the Republicans like to see smaller government. And they like to preserve our freedoms. They don't want big government telling us what to do. And so Ben just talked about China saying that you can have 2 children. It's great to live in a free country where we can have a biggest family as we want to have. And so I've always seen the Republican Party sort of as more towards expanding my liberties, minimizing the size of government, and trying to temper the amount of money that government takes out of my pocket. Really, that's sort of the universal global view. Now we get into, people saying, well, the Republican Party is the party of the rich. Well, it's funny, they've said that for years, but there was recently a breakdown of the richest members of the United States Congress, both in the Senate and in the House. And you find that the Democrats are really the ones that are the richest. So that's, that's a specious argument that people have used. Republicans don't like immigrants. Well, in fact, the Republican Party recognizes that the strength of our country and our ability to grow economically is based on the ability to attract very well-educated immigrants to our country. So we're for immigration. We're just not for open borders and anybody can come here. We're for education. We're for the sanctity of human life. Republicans don't like, abortions pretty much at any term, but particularly in late term. So they argue for the sanctity of human life. They're strong on laws, so you'll see Republicans come out on tough laws, particularly as it relates to child pornography, human trafficking, and all that kind of stuff. And they're seen as the party of law and order, although I don't think that the Democratic Party is the party of, disobedience and disorder.
Okay.
So those are some of the major differences that you hear
What about the
people
Tea
talk about.
Party, though? It's caused a division between the Republican Party, as far as all the way to the far right, that are maybe the Tea Partiers seem to lean a little bit more toward anti-immigrant, and so they're a little more. Well, look at the Dewhurst and Cruz senatorial race that's on right now.
Yeah.
I was listening to Cruz yesterday on early morning Fox 26 here in Houston, and that's going to be an interesting,
Yeah, it's getting kind of nasty out there. I mean, it's.
Well, most campaigns can be, pretty knocked down, drag out, if you will. But yeah, it's every party has divisions. In other words, the conservatives have the far right, they have the moderates, and even in the Democratic Party, you have your far left folks, and then you have your moderate people. So every party has factions within its own party.
No, that's a good point. I think I'd like to take that opportunity to kind of wrap it up and go into the next section. But what we want to do is invite you back on, I believe maybe in July 30th, if we're going to be here on the air.
Okay.
We want to dedicate the show to really showcase the different segments of the party and bring in some candidates right before the runoff election.
Sure.
And we love the opportunity to showcase the different platforms that are out there. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Delighted to be here.
thank you.
All right.
you,
Right now, we're going to give you something very new that we've never done before. We're going live to our break. Check it out. Grupo Neami here live in the studio for you.
Que soy un tonto porque sigo enamorado de ti, que pierdo el tiempo si te sigo esperando aquí, en este lugar donde vivimos nuestro amor. Dicen por ahí que es una lástima que siga yo aferrado a ti, que tú no vales esta pena que yo sufro por ti, y que ya es tiempo que me busque un nuevo amor. Pero les digo yo que nadie me interesa más que tú, que te sigo adorando y que te esperaré, porque yo sé que un día volverás. Pero les digo yo que sé que verano poco a poco yo te voy a olvidar. Que llegará alguien que me ofrezca un nuevo amor de verdad y que mi destino yo no lo puedo cambiar. Pero les digo yo que mi destino solo eres tú y que siento que eso no puedo cambiar. Por eso sé que un día volverás. Pero les digo yo que sé que todavía me amas tú, porque me lo juraste y yo creo en ti. Por eso sé que un día volverás. Pero les digo yo que nadie me interesa más que tú, que te sigo adorando y que te esperaré. Por eso sé que un día volverás. No fue suficiente derramar mi llanto, dejar que rodara por el mundo entero toda mi ansiedad por querer detenerte. Olvidaste a mi orgullo y con la voz de mi alma pedí te quedaras. No quisiste escuchar, no fue suficiente. Un te amo en mis labios, te pedí recordaras lo que ayer vivimos fue bello en verdad. Pero piensas que hoy y todo se ha terminado, me dejas un beso de adiós en mi frente y me vuelves pasado. Y no lo acepto, que me des este adiós por completo. No me mires así porque muero, tu frialdad me ha llenado de miedo. Y no lo acepto, que asesines un fiel sentimiento, que mis noches se vuelvan invierno, que te vayas de mí no lo acepto, que te vayas podría destrozarme y no lo acepto. Yeah, no fue suficiente un diablo en mis labios. Te pedí recordaras lo que ayer vivimos fue bello en verdad. Pero piensas que todo se ha terminado. Me dejas un beso de adiós en mi frente y me vuelves pasado. Y no lo acepto, que me des este adiós por completo. No me mires así porque muero, tu frialdad me ha llenado de miedo.
Latino TV, you are back, and we have Grupo Neami here with us, sitting here at the table, small table. But welcome, guys. Thank you so much for performing. It was great. Please introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Carlos Villegas. I'm the lead vocalist and the owner of Grupo Neami.
Awesome.
How you doing? My name is Peter Flores, and I'm actually the bass player. I'm here playing bajo today, and I do also backup vocals.
I'm David Munguia. I play the keyboards on the accordion, and I do not sing. So. I'm good with that.
My name is Johnny Tobias. I play percussion for Neami.
Great.
Photographer.
Slash photographer.
Yeah.
El Mil Usos, right?
So where do I audition? I want to be the lead singer.
Well, we were waiting on you to show up. I was hoping somebody would take my place real quick.
Tell us a little bit about the history of the group.
Oh my gosh, how far back do I need to go?
All the way back.
All the way
way
to the
back.
beginning.
The beginning, back when I was born in
18.
This group, Neami, has been around for 15 years, approximately 15 years. But before that, we rewind a little bit. Our foundation was here in Houston as a Tejano band with horns and all that good stuff called Latin Image. That's a Denver Harbor product. Except for me, I'm a Magnolia product, but that's beside the point. Me too. Latin Image turned into Imagen Latina under the production of Baby Quintanilla. We were under Q Productions, performing with Selena on tour as the opening band. And then from that, it turned into what you see now, which is Neami. So I'm looking at a 20, no, more than that. I don't even want to say how many. It's almost 25 years probably in the music business. But really, this is it. This is my family right here, Neami. This was my baby here, as you can say, because when Neami was born, it was something that I wanted to start fresh, my way, my style, and that's where this started.
I tell you, for the viewers that are out there, I don't know how good the sound was, because this is a studio. It's not a music studio. But in here, man, I tell you what, it was great. Sounded really
Thank you.
very. I mean, my hat's off to you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank
It was
you.
actually a CD. We weren't singing live. We were
Yeah, right.
Con todos los gallos ahí. No, that was real. That was real. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you.
that.
That means a lot.
Thank you.
That's why we play for fans.
You know, for the performance-wise, and when people see out there, because I saw some of your YouTube videos out there, you guys have performed in front of some huge groups.
Thankfully, yes, we've had the opportunity to do some pretty big performances, and those are things that I think that, well, not only does it surprise us and makes us feel a sense of pride, but our families, our closest of friends, you know, and it's just a payoff to, a pleasant payoff to just the massive amount of sacrifices that we put into doing this, you know, and it's a thrill and it's a pleasure to provide that much entertainment to our fans.
You know, I think the bottom line is a lot of people see the limelight. Everybody thinks, oh, musicians, man, they got it made and they get to travel. And I said, nah, there's a lot of work behind what we do, a lot of rehearsing, a lot of sacrifices on the road, leaving our families behind. I mean, I got this man right here about to have a baby in a month.
Not me, my wife.
Well, I don't about me. Well, you know what I mean. David Munguia also, his wife's also expecting. So our Neami family is growing. So all that behind the scenes, people don't see that we're hardworking people. You know that it's a lot of sacrifices that we do. So being in front of big shows, big performances, are probably one of our biggest audiences so far has been about 25,000, and that's all been in Mexico. And Mexico has been really good to us. Really good to us. Tejano music is really hot, really a lot more powerful in Mexico, believe it or not, in masses than it would be here at this point.
I want to ask the percussionist a question over here. So you seem like the quiet one.
I'll try to answer. Nah.
No,
Only for the camera.
really.
You won't get me talking, but I'm sorry.
Because you all had mentioned that it's been around for about 25 years, more or less. Does that mean that all four of you have been together for 25 years?
No.
Or are you just come and go?
I'm the rookie.
You're the rookie.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love playing with these guys. They're like my brother from another mother. But I love all these guys. I love playing with them. They're all talented musicians. So I've been with the band for about a year.
Going on a
About
year, right?
About a year now.
And it's been fun. I wouldn't change that.
So what's the excitement? I mean, is it the crowd? Is it the music? Or what is it that really pushes you?
Really playing in front of a crowd, seeing like comments like you just made, and seeing people dance and appreciate the music. that's what I think everybody. I mean, I speak for myself, but as a musician, that's what you love to see is the fans, stomping their feet, dancing, enjoying your music, and that's an honor for a musician to see. And I mean, it's touching. I love seeing that. I love to see people dance, especially to your music. And you're driving in the car, you listen to the radio, and like, hey, that's the band. But it's an honor, it's a privilege, and I love doing it, and I want to change it for the world.
So I got a
I'm a
question.
musician for life.
So, is being a musician pay the bills?
No. I think the answer everybody wants to hear is like, oh yeah, being a full-time musician, possibly so. We're not full-time musicians. We wish we could be, but we're being realistic. Being realistic, it does not. I'm sure there are bands out there that do, but there's a lot of sacrifices involved. So we all have to, make things happen one way or another. But we love music. It's in our hearts. It's in our blood. I think I speak for all of us when I say that.
Absolutely.
I think it would be a disaster if I had to stop singing, because I love to do it. I'm singing since I was a baby, I guess. So I guess.
So we know what's out here in the public, but what do y'all do? Like, what's your alter ego? Like Superman is Clark Kent. So.
I know he likes audio. He's working on recording audio. David likes
Babies.
taking care of it.
I'm the dad at home right now.
When he says babies, he likes to take care of them. Well,
I have 2 kids and I have another one on the way, so it's kind of family time. So that's.
I think for most of us, it's really family time. It really is. Because music is like our hobby. It is a business for us, but it's also a hobby. So we really get what a lot of people wish they could have is being on the road and meeting people and traveling. That's the great part. So on our off time, it's daddy time. I think we all get daddy time. Mama decides that she's going to go and take a break, and we have to do our daddy duties. But there's nothing wrong with that.
So you guys set up. What's the secret to get everybody on the dance floor?
Well, we got an awesome lead man here. I mean, what you see here is just a small portion of what you actually get on the stage. But aside from being a fantastic lead man, I mean, we've got some fantastic musicians. I mean,
overall,
the musicians are great. I mean, we like to see. Really, what moves the people in the show.
And aside from, we pay them all money. Our dancers, we offer $1 for every song they get. Only dancers, $1.
no, I think the crowd knows it. If they see people, they see the band just standing there playing, not smiling, they can feel that.
Yeah.
It's a show. It is a show. They come for it.
You all probably don't realize this, but Jose has been in the music industry all his life.
I have.
You got him wondering.
When?
His parents owned a music store. They used to sell these CDs. Okay. So he was literally in the north side selling CDs since he was
Actually, no, I said 8 tracks.
8 tracks.
Oh, 8 tracks.
A record store called.
The guy he said, wow.
No, I've had that moment where about the 8 tracks.
It's got a Norteña record shop across from Medicina Reeds in the north side, North Main, if y'all know the north side.
Wow. Well, maybe they have some of the LPs for Latin Image.
I know Latin
8 tracks, no, 'cause I'm not that old.
Why don't y'all give your
Don't lie.
web
I saw the
address?
one you had over there. Don't lie.
Why don't you give out your web address and let people know about your CDs?
Absolutely. This is not one of our. We actually are out of stock of our latest one, but we brought one. Where's the camera? Somewhere on here. There it goes.
There it is.
Right here. This is one of our previous
Look at the wrong
CDs. We
camera.
have 8 CDs. Neami, I've lost count. 8, 7, 8?
8?
8, maybe 8.
Wow.
This is one of them.
Okay.
It's Neami. And our website, if you guys want to stop by, is negami.org. Also on Facebook, which is very, very popular nowadays. Facebook is, you look us up under Grupo Neami. The search is Grupo
And
Neami.
we can find your history there and get in touch with you guys. And
Absolutely.
please keep doing what you're doing, because I know hopefully this inspires some young musicians out there to realize that, hey, you know what, I can do it.
Absolutely.
So the last question, we go into our next break, but what has kept you going?
I think when we see the fans, it's like what we said
we
earlier.
see the fans.
When we did a show in Monterrey about a month ago, and that place was jam-packed. From the first song to the last song, they were singing our music. When people sing your music, that's what keeps us going. It's like Johnny was saying earlier, seeing people dance is great and all that, but when they start singing your music, it kind of gets you. When people stop you and ask you for an autograph, you think, who am I? I mean, I'm nobody. You want my signature on a piece of paper, that gets us going.
Do y'all encounter any danger traveling into Mexico, playing or anything?
I mean, danger. It's just part of
Flat tires.
it's part of the risk of it's part of the risk of and it's part of the sacrifices that we're talking about. You're always going to face difficulties on the road, and that happens to be part of it. But on our last trip to Mexico, if you're referring to that, no, we were actually well taken care of, and it was pretty good
was
trip.
fine.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I think it's a risk getting from one gig to another here. In Houston traffic, the way people drive around here, I think I'm more fearful of getting messed up in a traffic jam or an accident here than I am going to Mexico. Yes, things are bad in Mexico, but we do our thing. I think the fight in Mexico is between them, but anyway, that's getting a little too crazy.
Yeah.
But we were very comfortable traveling over there, and
great time,
I think
actually,
we just leave it up to the man up above. I think whenever he says it's time to go, it's time to go, whether it's here in Mexico or wherever. So I'm very comfortable with that, but we just keep on trucking.
When you see the videos from Mexico, then you understand why we do what we do.
Yes. Go to YouTube. Also on YouTube, we have
Before you
music.
break, I want to make sure that you all always have an open door to perform during our intermissions. Because I tell you what, it was
thank you.
great hearing you guys.
Thank you very
perform.
much.
Y'all do this every
Monday
Every
night.
Monday
Okay,
night,
so we
live
will
on
be
the
here
air.
every Monday. All our songs.
Come on.
Bring tacos and we're good to go.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really
Thank
appreciate
you. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure. Thank you
And,
very much.
Now we're gonna welcome Las Phoenix.
Corazón
watching Latino Talk TV. Now we have Las Phoenix here at the table. And the main one, your dad. So tell me, ladies, how has it been actually being musicians? I mean, this is huge.
Oh, yeah, we love it. I mean, it's been our life. We've been in, well, we started just singing and dancing. We did that for about like 6 years. And for the past other 6 years, we learned how to play instruments because, ¿cómo se dice? Dealing with, dependiendo in musicians, it wasn't too great because they would always get there late or they wanted an extra cash or something. So then my dad was like, you know what? Y'all need to learn to play your instruments.
Save me some money.
It would save me some money and it would be great. And yeah, we started and I think it was probably like the best idea we've ever had to actually learn to play the instruments. I feel like you can feel the music. I feel like, well, I know that's how I feel. Like I feel the music 10 times better that way.
So what's the age range started from here? This way?
We go from 11 to 20.
20, yeah.
Okay, so you're the oldest, I'm assuming?
Yes, I am the
Okay,
oldest.
so tell us about where you went to school and if you're going to college.
Yes, I went to school at Seven Lakes High School. I'm currently I'm not full-time, I'm part-time student in University of Houston. I'm doing accounting, but obviously right now we are full-time musicians. We've been really busy. We just got back from Los Angeles, from California. We were there doing 3 shows for Los Tigres del Norte. We did a lot of promotion. We were all over California. We were in North Carolina for the big event de Las Carolinas. A lot of things coming up. We're going to be doing Premios Texas August 2 in Austin, Texas. So yes, we are full-time musicians right now, but we do go to school. We know that, you know, like they were saying, you can't rely on music. You never know. It might be here one day, might not be here tomorrow. So we have to educate ourselves, of course.
So you all go to the same school?
Yeah, us three, them two and I are currently in college, and she's still in elementary.
Okay.
Actually, no, she's going to middle school.
So University of Houston?
Yeah, we're
all of you.
taking our basics at
Houston Community College.
Houston Community College.
In Southeast?
Yeah.
Katie. So please introduce each one of yourself. Please introduce yourself and also vamos a hablar con papá.
Okay, I'm Nadia. I play the bass in the group.
I'm Leslie, and I play the bajo quinto.
I'm Anaya, and I play the percussion.
I'm Adela, and I play the drums.
And I'm Berna, and I play the accordion.
And the number one Phoenix?
And I'm David, and I usually
Play the money.
tocaba algo, pero ahora ni siquiera mi esposa. So I'm just watching Las Phoenix. Muchas gracias por invitarlas. Thank you very much. My English is not too good. I don't know if it looks like, but I'm kind of Mexican. So thank you very much for inviting my girls. It's a pleasure to be here. And what I can say about my girls, I try to find the right word to describe them, and it's blessed from God. That's it. To have 5 girls on the same page, with same feelings, with same energy, with same everything. It's not 5 different people right there. It's one people. They have the same feelings. They never tired to do the practice. They never fight each other. At least not in front of me. And so, you know, I tell them sometimes, girls, I think you guys are Marcianas, something like that, from another world, you know, because it's hard to have 5 girls like that. It's just a gift from God to my wife and me. I used to be not a bad person, but not too good either. On the weekends, she'd go out with friends, drink, blah, blah, blah. Now I only have time for my girls and my wife.
Y la wife está in the audience also, right? It's a very important part of the band, and it's beautiful that you ladies are all together. Y'all need to stay together, and don't forget the little people when y'all become famous.
Oh,
They are famous. So, ¿de dónde es usted? ¿De qué parte de
I know I tengo como un aspecto así como de europeo, pero no, I'm from Michoacán, Mexico. You know, I'm from Michoacán, Mexico. I came to California in 1983, and I moved to Texas in 1989, and I never thought they're going to find in these grounds this treasure, these girls. You know, that come when I got married with my wife. She wants a boy, a little boy. And I'm glad that she was looking for a little boy. We never find it. You know, I never in my dreams, you know, I'm a landscaper. I never thought that I'm going to have an interview from Don Francisco. I never thought they're going to step places all around the United States. No Mexico. We don't want to go to Mexico. So, but I feel so blessed, and I don't know what else to say. Say something.
Now, this is exactly what the show's about. To show that no matter where you're from, you can make something of yourself and really grow. I want to ask you about going to school in Seven Lakes. Has there been a cultural disconnect? Like, what do your friends over there say? What do y'all do? Anything like that?
Well, it was different at first because we moved for like all our lives. We lived in Houston, a very not so good part of Houston, maybe.
Sharpstown.
Yeah, Sharpstown, and then we moved to Katy. It was a big difference for us because there was more Hispanics, and then there was more white people to the school we went to, so we couldn't really tell them, oh yeah, we sing and stuff, or do that because
it never came up.
Yeah, and it never really came up because
we have friends and all, but I guess we don't. We don't tell them, I guess, what we do on the weekends. I guess they think that, like they'll ask, oh, well, what do you do? Oh, well, we work, but, we tell them, but it's not something that we just, throw out there, but.
Or sometimes we do tell them, like I told my friend, I used to work, and I told my friend, oh yeah, I sing, and she was like, oh really? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like.
And then I was like, no, I'm serious. And the thing is, she's Mexican, so I was like, why doesn't she believe me? Like,
she's not that Mexican.
And I was like, yeah, like we go out and sing, and like we have shows, and we sign pictures, we signed autographs, and we have CDs. She was like, yeah, okay. And she was like, okay, yeah.
I think they think it's like, like something on the side that we do, but really it is our life. That's all we do. We are full-time musicians. We practice every day. We're always doing something with our instruments.
Music,
But I feel like sometimes people don't, like, they think we're just like kidding or joking around. It's like, no, we're serious.
I thought it was hilarious right now because you just opened up like nonchalantly. Oh yeah, we went to LA and we opened up for Los Tigres del Norte. I want to meet them.
They're great. They're really awesome.
My little girl right now is like, she's listening to y'all and she's like, hey, they're on YouTube. Really? So she's all excited now.
I want to say something. I have to go to Las Vegas. It's a meeting for all the promoters in the United States and Mexico. We want to talk with the manager of the Tigres, so we can set up something to make a tour in all the United States with them, to open the show for them. It's not official. It's on the table. We have to talk about it and see. But whatever we do in California, they love it. They were talking big time. One of them was trying to teach the little one to play the
percussion.
They give it the, ¿cómo se llaman los palillos?
The drumsticks. They were really nice. The great people, everyone who works for them, they're very welcoming with us. It was awesome.
So when you get older, you're going to take over the band, right? You're going to be the star.
No, that's too much responsibility.
Do you actually go on tour the whole time?
Yes.
Okay.
She doesn't like to practice, but she likes signing autographs and stuff.
She loves hotels. She's like, she's packed a month before we even go out.
Yeah.
She loves
really
traveling.
That's the good thing. We have a bus and we travel. All my family, we fill out with food, drinks, whatever. The longer stay is not a problem.
We never got
invited. Call us.
You see, but the food is finished by the time we're like
we get on. We haven't even gone out the parking lot. We're like, okay, we're already hungry. And we start
but that's like, what, y'all are already eating, but it's because he's jealous because he's driving, so he can't eat.
So we can take a film crew with you guys one day?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Awesome.
That'd be
So
awesome.
just to recap this real quick.
Javier? Y'all ready? Go on tour?
Let's go. Just to recap. Good, strong man from Michoacan, came from LA down to Houston.
Yes.
Grew up in the Southwest, Sharpstown.
Yes.
Cutting grass.
Landscaper, to now living in Katy
Yes.
and living the dream and being national tours.
And
These stars, this is real.
Well, we have a lot more to go, but
Yeah,
thankfully
a lot,
everything's been going great. Music has been good to us. I think it's since we're girls, I guess,
It's a little
we
harder to
attract people, but I feel
Y'all can sing.
Thank you.
so much.
It is
Y'all
hard
really
though.
can sing.
I feel like us being girls, it makes it a little harder for people to take us seriously sometimes.
Well, on that note, thank y'all so much. And we
Thank
take y'all
you.
very seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you guys come back because we want you all to
Definitely.
perform for us again.
Yes,
wow.
definitely.
And please stay in touch. And thank you so much for being
Thank
on.
you.
Thank
you so
you.
much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You're watching Latino Talk TV. We'll be right back to wrap up the show. Latino Talk TV, and We just wrapped up with Las Phoenix, and now we're gonna talk about a great event that's happening on Wednesday. Fidencio, please introduce yourselves. Tell us what's going on.
Fidencio Leija. We're with a new group. It's called Latinos Engage United Voting, and we like to call it LOVE. So Latinos Engage United Voting is a new group that we just recently established. And the reason we established is that we feel that we want to take some of that burden off all those other organizations that are in the city of Houston and try to help develop and organize new young candidates that are willing to step up and run for office. And at the same time, we also want to engage the community to know about the issues that are facing them. So that's one of the reasons that we created Latinos Engage United Voting.
What inspired you to create this organization?
I think over time, you know, a lot of times us as Latinos or Latinas, we feel that politics isn't for us, that we shouldn't get involved in that, and that that's only for certain communities. That isn't for the Latino community. What we feel is maybe we don't have the experience and we haven't been here long, but we feel that we are educated. I served in the military. I feel like I've served this country. I think it's time to give back, and I think this is an opportunity for us to combine with Latinas and Latinos that are the young professionals, that we can organize and that we can help other candidates to step up.
Fidencio, let people know about the event on Wednesday, time, place, and everything.
The event on Wednesday is going to take place at Bamboo. It's in the Rice Village area. It's going to start at 6:30 p.m. And the biggest thing about the event is it's going to be a community forum where we have a nice lineup of speakers that are going to talk about education and safety matters to Latinos. So that's very big for us. So it's going to be 6:30 on Wednesday at Bamboo in Rice Village.
Are you going to be registering people to vote and whatever?
Correct. We're going to be doing the whole 9 yards. Registering people to vote, talking about education and safety. Also, we're going to have a gallery, what we call a Latino gallery with a purpose, educating them on different issues, especially the one that's coming up that'll be on the ballot in November regarding the HISD bond.
So tell us, why should Latinas get involved in this when they're watching the show, and why?
I personally think Latinas should get involved just because, like Fidencio said, when we think about politics, we think it's not for us. But the point of this group and this organization is to kind of connect the candidates with the community so that we know who we're voting for. And so when we see the candidates at the event, Cindy Varaleja and Erica Lee will be at the event, we'll be able to ask them questions. We'll be able to kind of pick their brain to see if they are the candidate for us. So it's not only important for Latinas, but as women, we typically don't get to be in the forefront making decisions. And so we need to put ourselves out there. We need to let people know that our opinion is important too, and that, you know, we don't only make decisions in the household, we make decisions for the community too. So.
Well, you know, I'm very proud of the fact that everybody around here is part of the National Hispanic Professional Organization Leadership Institute. They just graduated. When was it? Last semester? No, this semester they graduated.
Correct.
And the graduation is this week.
That is
Saturday.
correct. Yes,
So
yes.
congratulations to you, and tell them a little bit about what you learned in that class and what inspired you to do this.
I think NHPO is the Leadership Institute is one of those organizations that doesn't come around very often. And now that it is here, it is growing and it's developing Latino leadership and Latina leadership. And of course, as you know, Mr. Mendez is probably 70% Latinas in there. So the women are kicking our butts. And I mean, even one of my classmates that's here right now, she just recently became a national leader because she just now became the director of intake for her sorority on the national scale. So that's another big effort that the NHPO probably helped her develop and made her that candidate, along with all the work that she's done for the community. So I think, you know, NHPO is breeding and developing that farm team that we so much need here in Houston and Harris County.
I'll tell you what, Greg, you know, I told Fidencio this a while back, that he is going to be a leader in the community. I mean, you look at him and what he's done in a short amount of time that he's been here, and I think it's going to be great to see him running for office, hopefully in the near future, because we need more young Latinos or Latinas to come out and voice their opinions, because as you all know, there's a lot of issues affecting the Hispanic community. And we need leaders that will step up to the plate, that are not afraid to step up to the plate. and speak their mind.
The main important part about what you guys are providing for the community is you're getting the youth, the young people electrified and get them and connected and making them understand what's at stake and making them reach out and grab their part, take part. So my hat goes off to you guys.
Well, Mr. Compian, we definitely want to thank you. Mr. Greg Compian is actually one of our founding contributors for our organization. Since day one, we went to go get his advice and told him, what do you think about us young professionals developing this organization? And right off the bat, he was like, Fidencio, what can I do? How can I help? And what kind of check can I write for you to make sure that this organization gets established? So we want to thank you right off the bat for supporting this event on Wednesday, once again at Bamboo. And the event is called Education and Safety Matters to Latinos. We ask you to come out and see our speakers, a nice lineup of one of our former directors, of the state directors of LULAC will be one of our speakers, Joey Cardenas III. And then we also have Erica Lee there, which is running for Harris County Board of Education. And then Cindy Varaleja, that's running for Constable Precinct 1.
And hopefully, in the future, there's going to be more of these events?
Definitely. You'll see more of us.
Okay, good. And we're going to have some more. Are we also going to have race-neutral or party-neutral candidates showing up to some of these events?
Definitely. One of the things for us is that we want to support all candidates, if they're Latino or non-Latino. But one thing we want to make sure, for sure, is that their agenda is Latino-friendly. We want to support candidates that do have a Latino-friendly agenda.
Okay. And on that note, thank you so much for joining. And I think that topic in itself, what is the Latino agenda? Because I don't think we all have one idea. And I think today we covered a big piece of that, starting off with Orlando Sanchez and hearing some of the platform that's there and to showing where the music is going and the careers of people and figuring out how we're going to be able to survive and move forward. But that being said, you are watching Latino Talk TV. Thank you so much for watching tonight. We'll be back in a couple of weeks, and have a great night.